taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Thom Abraham Show. So happy to be here on a Football Friday in the doghouse. So glad that you guys are with us. Only thing that I wish is that this headphone ampy thing was working better, and it's now starting to work a little bit better. What a piece of junk that connector is. I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying we are coming to you live today on remote from the broadcast capital of 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Yes, I'm up here at the station, and we're doing a little bit of work, doing a little work in the other room, and learned a lot of stuff today. Learned a lot of stuff today. Did a little training and learned a lot of stuff today. So I'm very happy about that. And we are going to, as always, we are going to serenade you with football music all throughout the show today. As always, that's assuming that Captain Cool has found the rotator with the football music on it, and he's here in mission control. And I didn't even tell those guys they're in there, and I didn't even tell those guys that, you know, generally on a Football Friday we hit a little Monday Night Football music. I mean, that's what we normally do. And but I know that's in there somewhere on the board. I just didn't even get it. We got a lot of football to get into today. We got some solid NFL topics for you today. We have got some solid college football as the ACC and the Big 18 have wrapped up their media days. And we are bringing you a special future fecta today. All right, we have a special future fecta for you today, and this is going to be a part of the grand trifecta. It is unique to this upcoming college football season. Usually we do win totals for like a number of different teams in college football. We'll do the SEC with 4 teams, and then we'll do, you know, the Big Ten with 4, and then national 4 teams, and then we'll do, you know, the NFL and all that. We're changing it up a little bit this year for the future fecta. All right? This is what I am looking for from you. I am looking for the SEC teams that will make the playoff this year. Okay? That's what I want you to give me. The SEC teams, however many, few or many you think are going to make it, that are going to make the SEC, that are going to make the college football playoff this year. It could be 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams, 5 teams, whatever it is. Okay? Whatever it is. But you got to give me the teams. You can't just call and say, well, 3 teams from the SEC are going to make it. No, I don't want to know about that. I want to know if it's, you know, Georgia and Texas and Alabama or Ole Miss or Tennessee or whoever you think, unless you're like the knucklehead from SEC Media Days that said that Vanderbilt was going to make the playoffs and that they were going to, you know, make the SEC championship game. Whatever it is, I do have, as a refresher course for you, I do have what the SEC media said in terms of the final order of finish. That doesn't necessarily mean how many of those teams are going to make the college football playoff. The general opinion is, the general consensus is that 4 teams from the SEC will make the playoff. So what 4 teams would they be? But you may think that 3 are only going to make it. Or maybe there's going to be 5 make it. Okay? You can do that. This is just from the SEC. Next week, we'll get into the Big 18 and the ACC, the Big 12, and future weeks. Well, I'm going to do 3 weeks of this. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. This week, it's the SEC. You tell me who is going to the playoffs from the SEC today. Next week, you're going to call in and you're going to tell me who from the Big 18 is going to get to the playoffs. And then the following week, you're going to tell me everybody else. Because I think it's going to be 4, 4, and then 4. And in the 4 everybody else, I think that's where you're going to find the ACC, the Big 12, and the Group of 5 representatives. Okay? So 3 weeks of this to come up with 12 teams. You don't have to say 12. You might say 5, 5, and 2. Whatever your pick is, that's what it'll be. Okay, that's how it'll work. All right. The only way to get in, and then we're going to do the NFL after that, and then it's game time. And we're going to ask for NFL playoff teams, and then it's game time. Now, the only way to get in is via the phone lines at 256-576-4977. Or you can text the show, 732-9TA-SHOW. That's 732-982-7469. And those of you listening on ESPN 1340, 1069 in the Winchester area, this is your time to show your football chops. Okay? You get into this. This will count towards the grand trifecta. And the grand trifecta is for each and every week, all the new listeners, each and every week, all throughout the football season, we'll have 3, 4, 5 games to pick. I call it a trifecta because it sounds cool, but, it could be 4 games, could be 5 games, okay? And we pick games every week, and whoever gets the most trifectas right will win the grand trifecta. You get prizes every week, and then the grand trifecta winner will win the VIP package to the Music City Bowl, which is worth about $600. All right. So we got that out there for you. Again, 256-576-4977 get you in, or the text window, 7329-TA-SHOW. Now, my X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. You can also find the show on YouTube at WZZN TV. And remember, all of our stations have great apps as well, with tremendous options for additional programming, and you're going to need that. We may have as many as 6 high school football games in the high school sports streaming network this year. All right. WCDT is also going to have an app to where you can listen to, Franklin County football, Huntland football, all that kind of stuff. All right. But you need to get the apps. Go to your app store, look up WZZN. Look up Talk Radio WZZN. Look up 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, to get your, you know what I'm talking about. Just pick a station. Just get it done. Now, we never got the Tuesday Top 10 in, so we are going to hit that today. 10 teams in the NFL that need to go all in on their throwback gear. We'll see if we can't get to that. And we'll take a look at the USA Today's NFL predictions. And at the top of the one, Joe Dubin from 102.5 The Game, good friend of mine for 15 years. Dubs will join us with a Titans primer from Titans training camp. Also, the Olympic opening ceremony is taking place as we speak on the River Seine in Paris. I think that's how you say it. Apparently, the athletes are coming in by boat. All right, that's the way they're doing it. Bring them in on a boat on the river. I need to know how interested we are in the Olympics. I really do. I need to know, what am I supposed to do with the Olympics? What do you want me to do with the Olympics? How interested are we in the Olympics for the next 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks? I'm going to tell you right now, I am more of a winter Olympic guy myself. I am not into the track and field. I will follow the basketball tournament. Is softball and baseball even in the Olympics? I know there's a 3-on-3 like jumping jack Olympic basketball tournament. I don't know that. I don't even know. I got to put the crack research team on it. I don't think softball and baseball are in the Olympics this year. And it's kind of odd that I'm into the winter games, because I was never into snow sports. I know you're thinking, well, of course you're into winter games. You're originally from up in upstate New York. You're from Canada. No. I was not a snow skier. I was not a snowboarder. I played hockey in college, basically indoors most of the time with my skating and so on. I was not a snowmobiler. I did not go on the luge. Okay. I did not go on the doubles luge, which is a little bit skeevy to me, if you ask me right now. One dude laying on top of another dude, in a skin-tight outfit, so tight that you can tell what religion they are. And I'm not into that one. All right. I like the bobsled. I was never a bobsledder, but I like the bobsled. All right. And I like the hockey. I'm into the Winter Olympics. The Summer Olympics, I don't know what I'm into in the Summer Olympics. Track and field doesn't float my boat. Watching a guy put a shot is not my thing. It's not. Watching somebody, that's 6'3" and looks like they need to mix in a cheeseburger once in a while, running on a track is not my thing. It's not my thing. I'm sorry. You guys, let me know, though. All right, over there in Mission Control. Playing a Plat Doesn't Matter and the Stacks of Wax and answering the phones and living large and in charge on a Friday. It's Captain Cool.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I'd put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
If you ain't first, you're last. He's got Abraham now.
What a catch!
What a catch! A leaping catch at the 45-yard lines, and he brings it in.
Hey, Captain Cool, how you doing on a Friday?
Hey, first football Friday, I got to feel pretty lit. I'm pretty excited for everything that's going to happen. Also, I do have every single list of sports that are going to be in the summertime Olympics. And
Is there baseball and softball?
There's no baseball, there's no softball, but you can look forward to some hockey. On the field, yeah. There's field hockey, archery, artistic, gymnastics. We're both getting blown up right now on the phone. Athletics, yeah. I don't know what that really consists of. Badminton, there's basketball. I mean, basketball will be fun. There's 3v3 basketball. There's cycling, skateboarding, diving, equestrian. Is that like in water?
That's horseback.
Oh, that's horseback. Okay. There's like football, but it's soccer. It's not the right football.
Isn't flag football in the Olympics this year, or is that next year?
No, I don't think it's in this one. There's a lot of guns, a lot of shooting, sports climbing, surfing. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's tennis, table tennis.
Wait a minute, we got polo. Surfing, but we don't have. We have surfing, but we don't have baseball?
No baseball. But the surfing is going to be pretty cool. I hear that the waves are going to be pretty gigantic this time around. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I actually got to surf just a few days ago for my very first time when I was down in Florida. That was super fun.
Joanne tells me that there's break dancing in the Olympics.
There's break dancing? Okay. There's a lot of different types of dancing. There's Taekwondo. You could say that's dancing as well.
What? Taekwondo is not dancing.
I mean, it's like it's like partner dance, like team dancing.
Taekwondo?
Yeah,
Taekwondo?
exactly. There's judo. Judo's also
Taekwondo is a fight sport.
Exactly. I mean, there's
team dancing.
That's one-on-one though, and you're kind of dancing just in a fighting, style. I mean, you could kind of say it's dancing.
No, you cannot in any way, shape, or form.
You know what?
Don't make me fire you.
Teach their own.
Yeah, it's not anything. Killing me over there.
Yeah, not too many sports that I'm going to really...
is like what I'm going to do to you in a minute.
You want to dance with me?
Sweeping the leg. That's Taekwondo, I think. Taekwondo
dance.
Is like in that there. What's that movie there? What was the thing with Mr. Miyagi and this thing over here?
Footloose.
No, not Footloose. What was the
Karate Kid?
Karate Kid.
Come on.
No, not karate. Was it Karate Kid?
That's Karate Kid. That's karate, but
no,
but
it's
along the same lines.
Something Kai. What was that thing?
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is Karate Kid.
It's also
Karate Kid.
It's the same thing. Yeah, it was just like the.
There was
sequel.
like 3 Karate Kids, and then there was the Cobra Kai thing.
Yeah. Then there was the one with Jaden Smith. That was actually a really good movie. I will say.
Killing me.
That was fun.
You're killing me. All right. Got a lot of stuff to get into. Let me get to Roger though in here and bring him on board. Roger, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm sorry.
It says Roger. Am I wrong?
Yeah, this is Roger.
Hey, Roger, how are you?
I'm doing good. You?
I am fantastic.
Great. I'm from Alabama.
Okay.
But the 4 SEC teams I think will make it will be Georgia, Texas, I'd say LSU and Ole Miss.
Wow. Now, do you roll with the Tide or are you somebody else? What's the deal there?
I do. I just don't have confidence in our quarterback.
In the quarterback?
Yeah.
As good as he was by the end of the year last year? I mean, this guy was in the top 5 in the Heisman Trophy voting.
Well, he has unless he proves a lot, improves a lot. He has issues with the short pass.
Yes.
And he also had 6 fumbles and 5 interceptions last year. And I think the competition
33 touchdown passes or something like that with those 5 interceptions.
Well, I understand, but I just don't have confidence in him.
All right, I got you. So
I may eat my words, but that's my opinion.
All right, so you're going with 4 teams. It doesn't have to be 4. I mean, you can pick as many as you want or as few as you want. You're going with 4 teams. You're saying Georgia, Texas, LSU, and Ole Miss make the playoff out of the SEC.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's a couple more that could make it, but I just don't believe they will.
All right. Got you in, Roger.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good job by you. Yeah, so that's how it works. You see what he did? He just went right there, and he gave me 4 teams. So these are the 4 teams that I think are going to make it into the playoff from the SEC. The consensus, the general consensus is that it'll be 4 teams. That's the general consensus. Now, the predicted order of finish from SEC Media Days, from the media now, and what do we know? But the predicted order of finish, by the way, 1,300 media members and only 400 voted. I thought that was a little bit unfortunate. Predicted order of finish: Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri, then Tennessee, Oklahoma, and in the bottom half, Texas A&M, Auburn, Kentucky, Florida, South Carolina, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. All right, that was the predicted order of finish from SEC Media Days. My cousin Vinny is up next. Vincenzo, welcome to the show. How are you?
Tom, I am great. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Yes, you are. Hey, you're finally back on the air with your regular show, and I've been up in Maine for a few days, and so I missed a lot of what was going on. So I apologize for that. But how's it going? What's been going on?
You can always go to the archives, at 977ESPNthezone.com. No, wait a minute, 977ESPN.com. Is that what it is?
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Along the lines, 977ESPN.com.
You can go there and you can always hear old shows if you want. But we're just hanging and banging now, man. We're getting ready for it to get busy.
Well, I almost half expected coming back and having to listen to you on overnights on the rap station or something.
Oh man,
you never know with you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but anyway, I'm thinking 4 SEC teams are going to make it.
All right, give them to me.
And of course, it's Texas, Georgia, and I hate Texas, but Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and Ole Miss. Is that the general consensus?
That's how the media voted the top 4. Not saying necessarily that all 4 would make it, but that's the top 4 that the media had voted. So if 4 make it, that's what and by the way, that was my pick. I say that 4 teams from the SEC make it, and it is Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
Okay, what are they thinking Oklahoma's going to do? Like finish in the bottom half?
Not in the bottom half. Oklahoma is projected to be around in the middle. Right behind Tennessee, right ahead of Texas A&M, somewhere in there. I have Oklahoma at 7-5 on the season.
Okay, so they're up. All right, well, let's go with those 4.
All right.
And maybe LSU, but I'm not ready to put them in.
Not ready to go with LSU. All right. We got you.
All right.
It's a good job by you.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
All right, man. Good job by Vinny. Oklahoma's problem is that they got a brutal schedule. I mean, they open with Temple. They get Houston at home. They'll win that game. They get Tulane at home. They're okay there. Then they get their first 2 SEC games at home against Tennessee and on the road at Auburn. Let's say they split those 2 games. I think Texas gets them in Dallas. That's a bounce-back game for the Longhorns. Lost to the Sooners last year. I think that Texas wins that game. I got them beating South Carolina in Norman. I have Ole Miss beating Oklahoma in Oxford. They beat Maine. Toss-up game is Missouri. A toss-up game is Alabama. They're at Missouri to get Alabama at home. Toss-up game against LSU at LSU. I mean, if they lose their toss-up game, their swing games, I have them with 5 swing games. I have them with the most swing games of any team in the SEC. I think Tennessee, I think home against Tennessee, at Auburn, home against Alabama, at Missouri, and at LSU are all swing games. If they were to lose those 5 games and lose at Oxford and lose to Texas, now you're talking about 5 and 7. Now you're talking about whether or not Brent Venables is still the coach. That's how that would shake out. All right, let's snag a break. We have a Tuesday top 10 on a Friday to get in here. We have got your phone calls. You've heard the first 2 that have jumped on board. You can do it. Let's wear these guys out. Let's see if they can handle a full bank of Football Friday phones. I know it's the 26th of July. I get it. I know you're not 100% ready yet, but I am. And we have this future factor for you. The 26th of July. By the way, one day past my parents' 65th wedding anniversary yesterday. I mean, are you kidding me? 65th wedding anniversary for my parents yesterday. Good job by them. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back with more right after this. It's a Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Are you feeling tired? Are you feeling sluggish? Gentlemen, Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health is here to help you. Braden is here. Braden, you've got the answers.
Thanks, Scott. Whether it's low T, erectile dysfunction, weight loss, or a number of other things, we have a solution for them.
It's Game Day Men's Health. Give them a call today at
256-850-1570.
You can find them online.
GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, what man wouldn't like to have tests done in a man cave?
That's right. Come in for your free test and consultation, walk into a world-class staff, a comfortable, relaxed environment, and we got your results in about 20 minutes with appointments less than an hour.
And the big game is always on the TV. It's Game Day Men's Health. Give them a call.
256-850-1570.
You can find them online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Huntsville/The Zone.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we love baseball almost as much as we love serving up the best and baddest burgers around. People have called our burgers totally insane. And at Bad Daddy's, we take that as a compliment. But it's not just burgers. Up first, starters like our fried pickles, wings, or poblano frites. Second, try one of Bad Daddy's giant chopped salads. Third, our famous chef-inspired burgers with lots of different taste options. And before you head home, finish up with one of our shakes or delicious banana pudding. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and Clift Farm in Madison.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Another day full of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll see high temperatures top out in the low 80s for the afternoon. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to see a mostly cloudy sky. Heading into our Friday night, we could see some patchy fog develop throughout the overnight. Mostly cloudy, low temperatures fall into the low 70s. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
College football.
The ball is caught. It is a touchdown.
Major League Baseball.
That ball is gone. A home run.
This is your place for complete sports coverage all year long. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And welcome back on a Football Friday, Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by Owen Home Appliance Center. It is freezer season down there at Owen Home Appliance Center. The Lacey Springs showroom is just 8 miles south of the river on 231, where their totally interactive showroom is. It is absolutely gorgeous. And when you get down there, you're going to see some beautiful name brand frost-free upright and chest freezers. And they're all in stock and ready to go. They'll even deliver them for you, no problem, all around the area. If you're in my listening voice, you can get your appliances delivered from Owen Home Appliance. And here's the deal. While supplies last, you can get a $50 gift card towards the purchase of Wagyu beef when you purchase a freezer from Owen Home Appliance Center. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's right there in the name. Owen Home Appliance Center. Mike Owen, my friend. I've known Mike Owen for 20 years. Good people. He's been in the appliance business for more than 20 years. I'm going to tell you that right now. That dude has been in the appliance business for well more than 20 years. All right. We have our future factor rolling out here for you. All right. What we're looking for is the playoff teams from the SEC. Doesn't have to be 4. You might think it's just 2. You might think it's 3. You might think it's 5. Whatever you think it is, you give me the playoff teams from the SEC. Now, next week, we are going to do the Big Ten. The Big Ten media has voted on their order of finish. Now, I don't know how many of these teams are going to make it. The general consensus is that the Big Ten will get 4, the SEC will get 4. We'll see. But this is the way the Big Ten media voted. Ohio State, number 1, 21 first-place votes, 480 points total. Oregon, number 2. So Ohio State and Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. Oregon got 6 first-place votes. They were the only other school to get a first-place vote.
Makes a lot of sense, honestly. When it comes down to it, I mean, you look at the rest of the Big Ten, what do you got?
Penn State, number 3. This is now Penn State as a returning quarterback. If not now, when? For James Franklin and Penn State. They need to get it done now, okay? Because they win their 9 or 10 games. They beat everybody they're supposed to beat, but they don't beat the biggies. They don't win. You got to beat Ohio State or beat Michigan, will you?
That's not going to happen.
They don't do it. What's going to happen this year?
They're on rotation to have the same type of season every single year. Good, but not good enough.
Well, this is the year with a returning quarterback that the expectation is that maybe they go up a little bit.
I think.
Voted number 4 in the Big Ten. Your defending national champion, Michigan. 411 points. Then there's a pretty significant drop-off to number 5. That's Iowa. 363 points. Iowa. Number 6, USC at 6 in the Big Ten. Number 7, Wisconsin. Alabama goes to Wisconsin early in the season in September. I'm just telling you right now, I'm a big Luke Fickell fan. I'm a Fickell fan. A Luke Fickell fan. I think that Wisconsin might surprise. I think Wisconsin's going to be pretty good. Number 8, Nebraska. Wow. Matt Rule and Nebraska. Media is pretty big on Nebraska. Coming in at number 8. Number 9, Rutgers. Number 10, Washington. They were in the national championship game last year. I mean, is that the mindset? Would they be number 10 if Kalen DeBoer was still there? I mean, 10 in the SEC, not number 10 in the country, number 10 in the Big Ten. Not in the SEC. Number 10 in the Big Ten.
It's the same thing. I feel like that happened to TCU after they went to the national championship. Their players got poached. They disappeared. Their coach left. I mean, there's a lot of different moving pieces.
So you think Washington back in the crapper a little bit?
Yeah, they're really putting them back there. And I mean, it somewhat makes sense. But for the Pac-12 to have these teams move over, it's going to be a little bit more competitive. Honestly, I thought it was more competitive in the Pac-12, but it doesn't exist anymore except for Oregon State and Washington State.
Maryland, number 11. Minnesota, number 12. Don't sleep on the Golden Gophers. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised Maryland ahead of Minnesota. Illinois, number 13 in the Big Ten. Northwestern, number 14. UCLA, which, by the way, is in Los Angeles. I don't know if you knew that or not. UCLA is in Los Angeles with USC. We're UCLA. We're in Los Angeles.
We've been around for a little bit.
We've won 652,000 championships in swimming.
In football alone.
LA is in California, United States. USC is there with us. We're with USC in LA is where Deshaun Foster. You kidding me? Michigan State at number 16. How the mighty have fallen. I mean, how long ago was it when Mel Tucker was one of the hottest names in all of college coaching and he got a $10 million a year deal and he won 11 games at Michigan State? I mean, think about that. It was like 3 years ago, people were talking about Mel Tucker from Michigan State being the next coach at Alabama. And they gave him a $10 million a year. Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame thinks that's crazy. All right, come on. You guys know, right? I mean, Charlie Weiss, 8 games into his career as a head coach at Notre Dame, got a big contract. Anyway, number 16 in the Big Ten. Number 17 is Indiana. And number 18 is Purdue. Looking up at the entire rest of the league is Purdue. First-time coaches in Indiana with Kurt Signetti. He went to a camp or clinic there or something. He helped him get the Middle Tennessee job. So there you go. So we'll do the Big Ten next week. This week. Why do they keep calling me?
Isn't it such a hassle?
Doesn't anybody know?
You've got loving sons and they're calling you during your show.
My electrician called me a little while ago.
He's got a son.
Who works for, but he works for this son. And now Thomas is calling. Do these people know I'm doing a sports talk radio show from noon to 2 every day? Turn the ringer off on my phone.
You changed your time so many times. I mean,
I have not changed my time so many times. I've been on noon to 2 for a while now. Well, Vinny's like, I thought you were doing a midnight shift on the rap channel.
Crazy.
Let me Grumpy. I need a legend. I need to talk to a legend in the doghouse. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. So if I wasn't ready for the SEC thing, but I need to make my picks. If I went chalk with the first 4 teams in the SEC, Alabama, Georgia, I guess, would you work in an Ole Miss? I hadn't looked at their schedule. And who would be the 4th team if I went chalk?
Texas. Texas is the 2nd team if you went chalk.
Yeah, just so I can be in the future fecta and not miss a week. Yeah, put me down for the chalk. And then I wanted to thank y'all for doing the high school coverage.
Yeah.
You know, I know some people might hit the dial and say, why are we talking high school football?
Yeah.
But this is why I really like this station, is because you guys do, local stuff like that. And some of us do listen to that. I put it on my work site, and I've got 4 guys building a house that everybody's listening to it,
Were you listening yesterday, too? We did the entire show. It was like a Buckhorn takeover.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I listened to some of it. And then as far as the Olympics go, I don't think you're going to have to do any more homework to prep for this stuff, because you kind of answered your own. With one breath, you said, how much coverage do you guys want? And with the other breath, you said, what sports are in this again?
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I feel like, but when we were younger, and you're just a little bit younger than I am, or a little bit younger than I am, but when the Olympics was a thing, man. It was like, and maybe it was because before cable and everything, and before the prominence of cable and games every night, it was so cool to have sports, any kind of sports. I don't care if they were playing shuffleboard. Having sports on at night during the week was kind of a cool thing. But it was a thing, and I just don't feel like it's a thing anymore. I don't know.
Let me say this, that it's unrelatable, because it's no longer amateur sports. As an amateur, you could watch the television and you could relate to another amateur person. Now, there's so many pro athletes in it, it's just unrelatable.
So you think because they're pros? Are you a track and field guy at all? I mean, you get into it?
I enjoy the longer distance running, because you can see that those athletes, there's strategy involved with the longer distance running. The sprints are okay, but the long distance running, and I'm not talking about the marathon. I'm talking about maybe the 440 or the 880.
Right.
I kind of get into that, because there is pack mentality, and it's like a little NASCAR race. You got to save. You got to have a kick at the end.
Yeah.
You got to, so I'm into that. If you put it on the TV in front of me and I'm eating a burger, I'm not going to go looking for it. But hey, listen, you broke down that Umbrella song a while back. I was wondering if you could give us the audio description of maybe some of the breakdancing as you watch it. Like, try to be a sportscaster. You're a very good sportscaster.
Like if you were doing play-by-play on breakdancing?
Play-by-play breakdancing, because breakdancing's coming in this Olympics. It's here.
Yes, maybe that's why I don't watch it anymore. I mean, I can't see Team USA play baseball, but I can watch them breakdance. I mean,
that's exactly right.
That's not even a thing. And in breakdancing, how do you compete in breakdancing? Is breakdancing like it's got to be a judge thing? It's got to be like figure skating or something, right?
Yeah. You don't know who won until they announce it.
How many head spins can you do?
Now, if you had breakdancing going on and there was like 2 breakdancers out there at the same time together, and they were like crashing into each other, and you had to knock the other guy off the piece of cardboard,
that's Taekwondo.
Oh,
or maybe some 6-ounce gloves or something.
Yeah. Or like one breakdancer with another breakdancer up on his shoulders, and they're like going at it,
But I wanted to thank y'all for the high school coverage, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate you.
It's like ESPN Ocho. I feel like that's what this is starting to become, the Olympics. You get a bunch of random sports.
Breakdancing.
I mean,
is it judged?
It's definitely judged. It's the same way as like cheerleading. Who puts on the best performance?
Well, I'm just gonna say this about breakdancing. If it's like figure skating, let's say anything, it's like what's that? There, gymnastics on the floor, right? The floor exercises of gymnastics and things like that. All of those gymnastics. And my wife will get into the gymnastics. She get into it in the big time. I got another son that's into the Olympic stuff and everything else. And I don't really get into the gymnastics too much. I don't think now this is a controversial statement here, but I'm going to say it.
All right.
I don't think anything that is judged is a sport. It's an activity. Now, they're great athletes, just like professional wrestlers are great athletes. Stuntmen in the movies are great athletes. But if you get points for style, like if you're in figure skating, if you get points because of how your outfit looks, and if you get points because of how straight your back is when you do a flip, and it's a judgment call, that's not a sport. That's an activity. That's a contest. That's like a beauty contest. It's a contest, okay? Sport involves, I am going to run from here to there. And if I get there before you get there, I win. That's a sport. We're going to wrestle each other, okay? And if I pin you on your back, or if I beat you in terms of scoring points by reversals and takedowns and things like that, that is a sport. It's a definable thing. If we play a game and I get more points than you get, like in basketball, that is a sport. Gymnastics, tremendous athletes. It's a contest. It is a contest. It is not a sport. NASCAR is a sport because if I get to the finish line before you get to the finish line, I won. You follow me? The figure skating, not a sport. It's a contest. Anything that involves judges, it's a contest. That's my take on that.
Well, can I give the official definition of a sport, and then we can all just kind of make our own opinions
Well,
on it?
whose official definition is this?
The doctorate of Google. An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment.
Well, what's the competing? That's the definition of compete then. Because compete means I got to the finish line before you. I jumped higher than you. I threw the put further than you. I put the shot further than you. I threw the spear further than you. That's the definition of competition. Who is, if it's judges, contest.
That's understandable. I can't go
Miss
too far away.
America, contest, right?
Yeah.
Not a sport, it's a contest.
That is true.
Some of those women are great athletes. It's a contest. Basketball, sport. Gymnastics, contest.
You make a good point with the
I'm
Miss
just
America thing. That does hit the nail right on the head.
Brandon is up next. And Miss America could be Mr. America these days. She had a couple of Miss Americas that were Miss USAs that were dudes. Right? Was it Maryland? What was the state? There's some state where the woman that won the Miss Maryland or whatever the state was for the Miss America contest is a dude.
Yeah, I heard
one of
about
these
that.
days, Miss USA is going to be a dude someday. You watch. Hey, Brandon, what's up?
Oh, I'm looking at the A's and the stadium that they're wanting to build in Vegas.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's going to be $1.1 billion.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But just the other day, the Mirage Hotel was bought to be torn down, and they paid $1.1 billion to tear it down to rebuild the Hard Rock. And then I'm looking here, it says Bally's Corporation that operated the Tropicana Las Vegas announced it agreed to a buyout at $4.6 billion. So is that the Bally's, I'm wondering, that's been the problem with the Braves?
No, it's not Bally's that is the problem with the Braves. They're just the sponsor.
Diamond.
It's Diamond Sports.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the company that is actually doing it.
Okay.
It's Diamond Sports. But the reality, too, with that baseball stadium, very little, the artist rendering was not very specific. It's very, very loose. It shows like it's almost looks like the Sphere. It has this big thing, and it's not very realistic as to what that stadium may or may not look like. I'm still hoping against hope that there's some way that they can save that thing in Oakland. I hate the thought of the A's going there.
Well, I'm looking at it, and it says they're going to get $380 million in public funding money, but they still want to sell PSLs.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do PSLs, then to me, why aren't they giving you $380 million in public funding? Because you're still pricing out the average person with that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And they're going to have a similar situation. It's not going to be as bad as in Los Angeles for the Chargers and the Rams, which have no fans. The Rams have some fans. The Chargers have no fans in L.A., but it's going to be like the Raiders are in L.A. People go to L.A. to see their team play against the Raiders. They're like, hey, look, the Browns are playing in Vegas. Let's go to Vegas and have a weekend in Vegas, and we'll go to the Browns-Raider game. 35-40% of the crowd at a Raider game in Vegas is not pulling for the Raiders. And that's what's going to happen with the baseball. There's no history there.
Well, and I looked at that and I said to myself, I guess they would make money selling tickets, but if you're going to do PSLs with a transient crowd, how is that going to work?
I don't know. A certain amount of people will buy season tickets that are going to go to games, and a certain amount of people, I think we're going to see a lot of travel agency types buy the PSL, control the tickets, and then secondary market the tickets.
Ooh, that's going to be expensive tickets.
You want to get in on this future factor? Give me the teams from the SEC that will make the playoff. It can be 2, 3, 1, 5, however many you think. Give me the teams from the SEC that make the playoff.
Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss. I think Texas too.
Yeah, that's the consensus. There's only been one person that has gone away from that so far, and that was Roger. He took LSU instead of Alabama. He just says Alabama misses the playoffs.
I kind of feel like Tennessee could surprise some people.
Yeah.
But I think if they made it, they'd be the 5th team.
Yeah. And that's possible. It could be 5. You don't have to give me 4. You can give me as many as you think. I don't know that in year 1 they'll take more than 4, though.
That'd be a little tough. I guess if it finally gets to the number they want to get it to, you'd probably be able to.
Yeah.
And we talked the other day about the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that the NBA turned down Discovery's matching offer to go with Amazon.
Well, that's going to be a court case. I don't think that deal is done, to be honest with you, because Discovery with TNT, the people that own TNT, if you don't know, Warner Brothers Discovery, it goes by WBD. They claim that they have the right to match and retain the rights. And it's not like, okay, we're going to match the deal, and then you could say, all right, you matched the deal, but we don't want you. They claim that Prime is a much better streaming alternative, that TNT doesn't have a streaming alternative, which they are disputing that, especially the fact that it would be 2 years from now. But I don't know 100% that that's over with yet, to be honest with you. But we'll see.
Well, that's good information. And then part of that deal is the Seattle Supersonics are supposed to come back?
Well, the thought process is that there'll be expansion in the NBA with 2 additional teams, and it's Seattle and maybe a team in Vegas. So I got to get a break in here. Appreciate you, Brandon. Always good stuff from Brandon. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, we'll set you up for hour number 2. Maybe could stick a phone call in there. A number of you are getting in through the text window as well. Back with more after this. It's the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Owen Home Appliance Center features the biggest names in home appliances like Viking, Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, GE, and Frigidaire. But they also have great brands that you may not know, like Mela, Forno, Z-Line, Invisicook, and Beko. But no matter what, they all get delivered the day you buy, and they service everything they sell. And at the Lacey Spring Showroom, just 8 miles south of the river on 231, you'll find a totally interactive showroom where you can hear the dishwashers wash and the freezer's free and see the cookies get baked in the double ovens. Owen Home Appliance Center will even wash and dry a load of clothes for you so that you can see how great the products are. And they have ice machines making all kinds of ice, cubed, nugget, and top hat. How is that for variety? Owen Home Appliance Center believes in community involvement as well, sponsoring youth teams, race cars, and an annual Easter egg hunt. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service is the name of the game for Owen Home Appliance Center. Find them in Somerville and Lacey Springs and online at owenappliance.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are a grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and this summer we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490. or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, where thousands of area residents have recorded or received world. Got a new tongue today.
You got it.
Thousands of area residents have received world-class care from the Valley's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic surgeons and medical specialists. TOC services the Huntsville Havoc, Alabama A&M, and most of the high schools in the region with 13 locations throughout the Tennessee Valley. If you have orthopedic problems and are considering professional care, TOC is the only logical choice. Whether you have a work-related injury or got sidelined playing the sport you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in the game, and I think you'll agree. That's the Orthopedic Center, and that goes for those of you in Franklin County, Tennessee, listening as well up there. The Orthopedic Center, just a short drive into Huntsville, and that is where you get the best care. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Joe Dubin is going to join us with a preview of the Titans. All right, Grasshopper, if I were to ask you off the top of your head, just a feel for it.
Go for it.
What do you think the Titans' record will be this year?
Ooh, I'm gonna say they're gonna be able to get say 7 or 8 wins.
So you're gonna go 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver core is gonna definitely carry them. It just depends on Will Levis and what he's gonna be able to do with those pieces. But I love what they've got going on right now. Tajay Spears is also gonna be a pretty big piece. Sucks that I have Derrick Henry, but what are you gonna do? Gotta out with the old, in with the new. They got a wide receiver type of running back that they're gonna be able to use.
They are always underrated. Always underrated, but new coach, so you just don't know.
They will be passing
with
the
Brian
ball a lot.
Callahan coming in. You just don't know. They got Bill Callahan to coach the offensive line. USA Today has them at 6-11, so we'll see. I think 7-8 wins would be a great start to Brian Callahan's career there.
Definitely pick the over on that.
Joe Dubin is next, live from Nashville, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we love baseball.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. NFL news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Lions kicker Michael Badgley will miss the season. He needs surgery for a torn hamstring after getting hurt during Thursday's practice. ESPN's Field Yates reports the Patriots are finalizing a 3-year, $24 million contract extension for safety Jabril Peppers. As the Rams feared, cornerback Darian Kendrick needs surgery for a torn ACL. He got hurt during practice on Wednesday. The Diamondbacks make a trade with the Marlins to get lefty reliever A.J. Puck. Miami gets 2 prospects in return. Canadian Olympic Committee CEO David Shoemaker says suspended women's soccer coach Bev Priestman was likely aware of drones used to fly over opponents' training sessions. She's been suspended for the rest of the tournament.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Sports Talk 24/7, 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on. That's my dog. Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elmer McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. And this segment of the show is brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. No matter where you are at, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, wherever you are at, North Alabama Mortgage can help you out. And don't put off that new home purchase right now, because when the rates drop, the prices will go up. So you buy now, you get the best price, and then you refi when rates drop. And if you're looking at home improvements, this is the time to use that equity now and refi later. All right, Joe Dubin is with 102.5 The Game in Nashville, and he is also a part of the Middle Tennessee. Well, yeah. What do you think there's a phone number on the sheet for?
Oh, okay. I got you. No, look.
Oh, that's it. He's over there. Captain Cool's over there. It's
First
like,
time.
am I supposed to call this guy or what? Or what? I mean,
I'll get him on.
You got to be kidding me over there. All right, get Joe Dubin on there. Joe does. He handles Middle Tennessee as well. Does color commentary for the MTSU Blue Raiders, but he is been covering, of course, the Tennessee Titans and has covered them for a number of years. By the way, you heard in the update that the Lions kicker Michael Badgley has torn his hamstring and he is out for the season. But have no fear, a kid that kicked in the UFL, Andre Zimet, I think is how you say his name, Andre Zimet. He was with the St. Louis team there, the Battlehawks. Big time leg. This kid had 4 60-yard plus field goals this season. He is an outstanding kicker, so he is in camp right now with the Lions. So, Lion fan, look, it's probably going to go bad because that's what the history is with the Lions. You know, they start looking like they're going in the right direction, then it goes bad. But at least it looks like you're going to be okay at kicker. All right, joining us now, Joe Dubin, 102.5 The Game in Nashville, covering the Titans. He also does the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders as a color commentator, and he joins us now on a Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. Dubes, welcome in. How are you, man?
Thom, I'm well, man. Anything for you, my guy. So it's good to hear your voice again.
You say that to everybody, though. You know what I mean?
I
mean,
do.
You do. You
I
pretty
really
much say
do.
that to everybody. All right, before we get into the Titans, we're doing a little future facta. You know, the Thom Abraham Show, 20 years of the Friday trifecta. And this time of year, I like to do a little future facta. And what I usually do is I give a win total for teams in the SEC. I'll pick 4 or 5 teams in the SEC, and we'll say over or under 9.5 wins or whatever it is. Well, this year, I'm doing something different. Now that we got expanded playoffs, I am asking our listeners to give me the SEC teams that will make the playoff. It could be 1 team, 2 teams, 5 teams, however many you think, but who makes the playoff from the SEC? So before we get to the Titans, help our listeners out a little bit with your expert analysis. Who will be the playoff teams from the SEC?
I'm going to say Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and I think Tennessee squeezes in. I think Ole Miss does not make it. Lane Kiffin has always been a disaster. He's never won anything of any importance. He will break Ole Miss hearts again and will not make it. So those 4 teams, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, And I think Tennessee's got something, Tom. I know we say it every year, but they got something up there with a new quarterback, and they got a good defense. They got something. So those are my 4.
It seems like that game in Norman is going to determine the fate of both of those teams, really, and what direction they're going to go in. I mean, if they can go in there and get a win in Norman, then look out. Then I think, otherwise, I have Tennessee right now. I tried in my heart. I was thinking they were 8-4, and then when I looked at the schedule, I got them at 9-3. And 9-3 with the swing game being Oklahoma. They beat Oklahoma. Even if they lose to Alabama and Georgia, they're a 10-2 team, and 10-2 is going to get you into playoff. Alabama's a swing game as well because it's in Knoxville, and we just don't know with a new coaching staff, how Alabama is going to be. So it feels like, the non-conference schedule, I don't think NC State gives them a hard time. Nope. They've avoided some of the biggies on the schedule. They're not playing. They do have that Georgia game at Athens, but they don't play Texas and so on. So, it feels like 9-3 to me.
Well, plus, that Oklahoma game, Heupel returns home for the first time.
Yeah.
I think that team will want to win that game so much for Heupel that it's no problem for them. Now, and then look at the murderer's row with Alabama and everybody else coming down the pike. But I think they go to Norman, get a win there, come back home. They're feeling confident. Tom, Neyland is not an easy place to play when that team's rolling. So, yeah, but I totally agree. That game in Oklahoma, late September, will determine so much how the Vols do. I just think they got it. And I think the flip side, I think Ole Miss, again, is, he's number one, got all the great transfers, and everybody's coming into Ole Miss. It's just Kiffin. Until he proves that he could win something, I'm always going to say he's not going to get to where he needs to go, and that's the college football playoffs.
Now, they have a very favorable schedule as well. And again, you look at the way it sets up for them, they could be 10-2 based on schedule alone, and we'll see what that happens, for them. And yes, you're right, though. Lane Kiffin, the last big game he won will be the next one. So
right.
We'll have to wait and see how that all works out. All right, let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. You've been doing some shows from down there. I remember the days when I was in Nashville doing those shows, nice, cool breeze, about 73, 74 degrees, no humidity.
Well,
yeah.
It was weird because this week was kind of nice.
Yeah.
It was like mid-80s and cloud cover, so it wasn't that bad. But, those days, the days are coming. Next week I look at the temperature, mid-90s, sun, blaring down. But, Tom, the difference now is with NFL teams, they don't practice that much.
No.
The Titans down the field this other day, they've done Wednesday, Thursday, 9:15 out at 10:25. An hour and 10 minutes. Could you imagine Mike Ditka or Dick Butkus or those guys of the days of yore only practicing for an hour and 15 minutes during training camp? It's a whole new world that I have not yet gotten used to.
When I was there and Jeff Fisher was the coach, practice was always in the afternoon, which worked out for me because I was afternoon drive, and they would practice in the afternoon. And people would ask, "How come you don't practice in the morning when it's cooler?" He says, "We don't play in the morning. I want to acclimate our team to this heat and humidity because this is when we play in the middle of the afternoon, early in the year." And that was always a thing. And then I remember it was a shock to my system as an old coach myself. It was a shock to my system when I showed up, and I think it was with originally with Mike Munchak when all of a sudden there was music playing, and it didn't stop after stretch. They had music going the whole time. Do they have music going the whole time at training camp now?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it was loud when Munchak was here, but now it's Brian Callahan. It's there, but it's not as prominent as it used to be. It's not as loud as it used to be. Now, during the regular season, I remember a few years ago when they were going to Lambeau Field the week of practice, they blared the entire practice because you're going on the road. You got to get used to the conditions. But, yeah, that was crazy because Munchak, you never thought he'd have that kind of bounce in his step, and he's playing music and having a good time. And, of course, it only lasted 3 years. But, there's music still playing, just not as loud as it used to be.
Now, my broadcast position, my tent, I was always set up right next to the door of the locker room. I don't know if you get that kind of access anymore, but we were like right next to the door of the locker room. So the players would be coming off the field. They would just slide right into the tent, hang out with us for a little bit, whether they were scheduled or not. I know it's a little bit different setup there now, but where do they have you guys broadcasting from? Are you a little bit more outside, or are you able to be inside the fence?
Oh, when's the last time you were over there? Yeah, where Titans practice. When was the last time?
10 years now.
All right, it's completely changed. You know, there's an arms race in the NFL, and it starts with training facilities. So, Tom, you wouldn't recognize the facility. So now we're way over by the lake.
Oh, my
God. We're way over there. So they've got this whole new AV setup. It's nice. I'm telling you, these 32 NFL teams, their facilities are some of the nicest spots on planet Earth. And this Titans facility, Tom, is fantastic. But they've got us way on the other side of the practice field. And, like, they've expanded the weight room now, comes out almost to the practice field.
Oh, my gosh.
It's really, really, really nice. But as we talked to some Bama players that have rolled through here, their training facility here in Nashville, nowhere near as nice as the ones in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I would believe that. I mean, same thing in Knoxville now and some of these other places where their training facilities are ridiculous. We were so close to the field, Joe, that if there was an overthrown ball in the end zone drill, like when they were running end zone drills and red zone drills and stuff, balls that were overthrown would come into our tent. We would literally grab the ball and throw it back out to them. That's how close we were to the action. And as I said, we were right by that we tied the tent off to that blue rail that used to go into the locker room. That's where we would tie the tent off to. That's the kind of access you had back in the day, but I understand it's not like that anymore.
It's cool. That where you were set up right there, that's a huge weight room with open windows and doors and everything. I'm telling you, man, it is fantastic over there.
Yeah, I got to get up there and check all of that out. Something that hasn't changed from my time there to now is the fact that the media generally always is underestimating the Titans. I mean, it happens all through the Mike Vrabel era. It happened. They were always being picked to win 7 or 8 games. They go win, 10, 12 games and host a playoff game and so on. I'm seeing a lot of 6, 6.5, 7 this year. The Titans made quite a few moves in the offseason. They got a new coach in Brian Callahan, got an outstanding offensive line coach in Bill Callahan, and a good staff put together. Is the nation, just from the outside looking in, are they selling this Titan team short?
I don't. God, that's a great question because it's a new staff, a new everything. I think the Titans like the fact that nobody's talking about him, and I think the 7-win. I had them going 9-8. But here's the great part about this: their first 3 games set up perfectly. Their first game is on the road in Chicago. They're taking on Caleb Williams. Now you're an old coach, Tom. You want to face Caleb Williams week 1 or week 10?
Yeah, definitely week 1 while the nail polish is still fresh.
Exactly, and it's at Soldier Field. So all the pressure's on Caleb Williams and the Bears, not the Titans. They got a new defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson, who loves to send like 18 guys when the ball is snapped, just send the whole team after the quarterback. So that's what Caleb Williams got to deal with. So I love that. Then they come back for week 2, Tom, and they get Aaron Rodgers at home. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets played Monday night in San Francisco. So late game, they get back Tuesday. They'll miss a day or 2 of training. They're on the road. Yeah, they come to Nashville. It sets up perfectly. And then week 3 is the Packers. And if Jordan Love thing is not resolved and he wants to hold out, let him hold out. If you're a Titans fan, let him hold out. That's 3 good games. But the most imperative one, Tom, is that first game in Chicago. And if they can go up there and punch Caleb Williams in the face, get a win, feel good about yourself, come home for 2 games, you're good to go. Now, the schedule gets tougher down the season. Obviously, it's the NFL, but that Bears game is so huge to how the season is going to play out. But you got the new 3 receivers. You got, Hopkins this year. He's got to work with Tyler Boyd, with Calvin Ridley. It's camp. Everybody looks good in camp so far. But if Levis can get some kind of continuity with these guys, and they got 2 really good running backs, I'm telling you, the offense could be really good. Now, the question is defense. They have no linebackers. They're missing a good safety. There's no really good interior lineman. That's the problem. And they're hoping out of camp they can find guys to fill those roles. But I think looking at 6 or 7 right now is okay because we just don't know how this team comes together with the camaraderie, and we'll find out very soon after that first game.
All about Will Levis, really. Rookie last year, he played in 9 games, and I liked him coming out of college. I really liked him his sophomore year in college, and it slipped a little bit his final year in college. But, I still thought that he was a good sleeper pick, and where they got him at the top of the second, I thought was really positive. Interesting to see Calvin Ridley saying that he reminds him of Matt Ryan when he was in Atlanta. I mean, that's pretty good. Matt Ryan is borderline Hall of Famer. So if Will Levis is anything like Matt Ryan, that would be pretty high praise. And it all starts with the quarterback in the NFL.
Well, it does. You remember that last year at Kentucky for Will Levis, he was behind an awful offensive line.
Right.
He comes to the Titans last year. He's behind an awful offensive line. Here's where I like Will Levis. We went to the Miami game on Monday Night Football. He made some critical mistakes early in the game, and they got down. So they just had a thing like, go out there, we'll do a 2-minute drill. We're midway through the third quarter. We're just going to pass and keep it going. He was fantastic, Tom. I mean, he was fantastic. His passes were they let him play football. They didn't have him try to stink and manage a game. Just go play football. Go out there and have fun. And he did. And he led the Titans to that victory. And they set a record, most points coming back down so far in the game, whatever it was. But he was great. I saw the grit in Will Levis in that game. And you love it. Tom Brady's come out and said, he reminds me of me in my second year in the NFL. He goes,
wow.
I know that's probably an unfair comparison, but he goes, the way he prepares, the way he puts the team on his back, the way he gets mad at himself, at his teammates. He goes, the guy's a leader. And last year, Tom, and being a coach, you know this as well, during camp, Will Levis took third-team quarterback snaps during camp last year because he was the third-team quarterback. Now he's taking first-team reps all through camp, all through minicamp. So he's the guy. If he can live up to what a lot of people think he can be around here, this football team could be decent, could be good for a long time. But it all starts and ends with Will Levis.
Joe Duman with us here talking about the Titans as they are in training camp. He's been out there doing shows from practice on 102.5 The Game up there. And let's talk about the defense for a moment. They bring a kid in L'Jarius Sneed that I think is, right in the middle of his, upside in his career, the prime of his career. But the key might be what are they getting with Jamal Adams? This guy here was outstanding with the Jets. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and it kind of slipped a little bit with the Seahawks, and it was injured a lot and so on. And they bring him in as a free agent. What are they getting with that guy? And what's the outlook for this defense?
Well, it's a low risk, high reward. It's only 1.1 million contracts. It's basically the bare minimum. And he looks good. I'm telling you, through the first 2 days of camp, again, it's camp, but he's in shape. He's big. I don't think he could cover. I don't think on third downs you're going to see him in the game on passing downs. But if you get to the line of scrimmage, you want to just kind of shadow a big tight end, he's your guy. If you want to bring in kind of a hybrid linebacker / safety, Jamal Adams is your guy because he's going to pop you in the face. And he's got experience. He's got the technique. It's just, I don't think he's a long-term at safety. I think he's just kind of a plug-in guy for right now. And look, he's a leader on the team, and, guys look up to him. And here's the best part. The defensive coordinator, Denard Wilson, was with him with the Jets. So the terminology is the same. Denard Wilson went and fought and said, we got to get him here. And Adams said, look, I'm inspired now. I've been hurt the last couple of years, but I'm back with a guy that believes in me. And, how many guys, Tom, these days sign for $1 million? Very, very few of them. He's like, I want to come in and I want to win, but I want to win at a place that I'm comfortable with, a coaching staff I'm comfortable with. So it's good. It's good seeing Jamal Adams out there because he still has that potential left. I just don't think he's going to cover, 15, 20, 25 yards down the field. I think he'll get you to the line of scrimmage. I think he'll bust you in the face if you're a running back coming through the hole. And that's what they need. They need a little grit right now, and they're going to get it from him.
They lose the grit in the backfield by not having Derrick Henry. But having said that, and I love Derrick Henry. A lot of folks in Alabama love Derrick Henry. There's no doubt about it. He has had a great career. He'll be a Hall of Famer. Having said all of that, I just told somebody that, sometimes you got to look away from the trading card and the highlights. And I start to feel like Derrick Henry is starting to become maybe Eddie George at the end of his career. 3.5 yards, and the burst isn't there that was there before. And, there is some mileage there on him. He's taken a lot of hits. I know he still had some big runs and explosive runs. It'll be very interesting to see what he does with the Ravens. Derrick Henry exits. Tony Pollard comes in, and Pollard is a guy that has a lot of upside, looked really good with the Dallas Cowboys, and I guess they'll be leaning on him quite a bit this year.
Well, not only that, they got Tajay Spears, that young man out of Tulane, who's just he's so fast. He is I haven't seen a guy. To me, he's faster than Chris Johnson out of the backfield. I mean, he is so fast. So you get the 1-2 punch of Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. It looks good. And we had Pollard on the show yesterday or Wednesday and said, you're replacing Derrick Henry. We know you're not Derrick Henry. What have they told you what you're going to do? He's like, you know what? He goes, we're going to split reps in the backfields for now. We'll get the job done, and we'll see how it goes. But he let the people know that he is not Derrick Henry. Obviously, he's nowhere even close in size to Derrick Henry. But I like the 1-2 punch. And now with the spread offense and things going so fast, you need two good running backs. Probably need another third running back, but at least two good running backs. And they got those with Pollard. And, he was with the Cowboys. He showed some great promise and great things. He got injured. He says he's healthy. He's good to go. It's a great signing. And a lot of Titans fans, I get it. They're upset, but I don't think Derrick Henry, Tom, would have fit into this offense because it's a lot of speed. It's a lot of getting and going on the outside. That's not Derrick Henry's game. I am glad he landed in Baltimore because, look, if I need 2 yards, I'm giving it to Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry even mentioned, he's like, I'm glad the focus is off of me now for once. And people are like, oh, what do you mean, off the field? He said, no. I'm glad that other teams don't prepare for me. If you saw the Hard Knocks when the Dolphins played the Titans, all Mike McDaniel did was like, we have to stop Derrick Henry. The whole show was about stopping Derrick Henry. That's everybody got consumed with that. I'm like, with going to Baltimore with him, he's going to be fine. You got Lamar Jackson, everybody else up there. You're not the focal point. But for the Titans, it was time. And he's still going to be a legend. He'll be retired, his number here and all that stuff. But now they got Pollard and Spears. They got guys who can get it out of the backfield, and that fits well with this Brian Callahan offense, which Tom is similar to the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the same offense with Joe Burrow and those guys. Same offense here because that's where Callahan came from the last several years. So it's going to be exciting. It's an exciting time because it's camp. It's different. It's the unknown. And so we'll see what happens that first game against Chicago.
Yeah, as a lifelong Browns fan, I am not happy about Derrick Henry being in Baltimore. I don't want to know anything about Derrick Henry being in Baltimore, that's for sure. All right, finally, before I let you go, J.C. Latham, Alabama Crimson Tide. What is the expectation for the 342-pound Latham that at times was an absolute road grader for Alabama? What are they thinking they can get out of him? Is he a plug-and-play guy? Is he got to work his way into the lineup? What's going on?
He is. We had him yesterday. He is the starting left tackle. And he goes, I'm loving it. I can't wait to do it. I'm going to prove people wrong. Let me tell you what, two things about him. Super nice. Very genuine guy. Came over and talked to us. Was just so well-grounded and knows what he's doing. And secondly, just the passion in his voice about people doubting him, which was like, people been doubting me my whole career because I can't wait to get up here and show how good of a left tackle I am. And, and you put him with one of the best offensive line coaches ever, Bill Callahan. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you couldn't have had a better offensive line coach for J.C. Latham. He's massive. His feet are quick. I know there were some people like, well, he gets kind of lost in his feet a little bit. Look, if I were to write a negative about any player, I could. It's easy to do that. But I'm telling you, man, he is fast. He's quick. He gets set. And, with your pass blocking and the left tackle, you got to get that drop step and sit your butt down. I'm watching Tom. He's great. I mean, he's moving like a guy that's like 260 pounds. Yeah. And this guy is massive. And he's like, I'm looking forward to it. So he's good. The guy next to him is a Peter Skoronski, the pick from last year, is good. They get the top center and the free agent in the league, and Lloyd Cushenberry from LSU, played for Denver. But Latham's a guy. I mean, and they love him. I mean, they talked how he was their number one guy and everything. But it's his attitude, Tom, and the passion he brings up here, which I think Titans fans are going to love because he's a guy that's going to get the job done.
The only question is moving to left tackle. I don't think anybody ever questioned his ability. I mean, he was a great right tackle, for Alabama, but I don't know I know he's talking about. People have questioned him his whole life. He was a stud, right tackle. The only issue is, when you switch to left tackle, it's a little bit different. You're putting a different hand on the ground, or your footwork is a little bit different. So, but I think he's going to be fine. I think.
We talked about it. The question was like, you're a big guy. You just kind of take it for you get in there, and you don't really give everything you got on the football field. He goes, that's they talk about guys like that who just kind of move the wind because they're so big and so strong. They don't work hard enough. He's like, I make sure I'm the hardest working guy in the room on the practice field every single time. And there's a chip on his shoulder that you hardly ever see with rookies. And he's got it. And he was just, it was just a pleasant guy to be around yesterday. And I tell you, he's the future is so bright for this young man. It's unbelievable.
All right, good stuff. Joe Dubin has been our guest. Dubes, I appreciate you. Keep up the great work. 102.5. I assume you got you're doing the Blue Raiders again this year. There's some excitement there with Derek Mason coming in, and And it's nice to see that they switched up their gear. They're going back old school with some of their gear. I don't like the 52 different uniform type thing, but I love the traditional Middle Tennessee Blue Raider gear. They do Lions gear better than the Lions do Lions gear. So, that's good. It's going to be some excitement in Murfreesboro as well.
Hey, it's good. Also, week 2, Middle plays Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. So we get to see, my favorite guy up close and personal and how he's doing in Oxford week 2. So, yeah, it's an exciting time, and Derek Mason's a good dude. So we're fired up, Tom.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Joe Dubin has been our guest. Thanks, Dubes.
All right, brother. Anytime. Thank you.
All right, so there you go. There's a little Titans preview. We'll be going around the NFL over the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and talking about as many teams as we possibly can. All right, when we come back, speaking of the NFL, I got a couple of NFL topics that I want to slip in here. Also, the phone lines go open again. Now, if you missed it or if you're just joining the show now, this is the time to get in on the Future Fecta. All right, we've got a Future Fecta for you today, and all I'm asking you is tell me the teams from the SEC that are going to make the playoff. So far, everybody has said 4 teams, and they named the 4 teams, and pretty much everybody's following the chalk. You could do the same. You can go ahead and pick up those points in the Grand Trifecta, but maybe, sometimes the obvious thing isn't the thing that happens. Is it Tennessee? Is it Ole Miss? Will Alabama make the playoffs? Georgia and Texas seem like a mortal lock. Who would you put with them? All right. So we're working on making up our playoff field, and it's a 12-team playoff. Next week, we're going to do the Big Ten teams that'll make the playoff, and then we'll do the rest of the field because a lot of people feel like it's 4 from the SEC, 4 from the Big Ten, 4 from everybody else, including the ACC, the All-Coast Conference, and the Big 12 with 14 teams. So we'll come back with your phone calls next right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
When the biggest names in aerospace, financial services, and electronics needed office and manufacturing space in Huntsville, they called Samples Properties, and they've been doing it for over 40 years. When Huntsville first began to grow, so did Samples Properties. You can trust your business to Samples Properties and their deep knowledge of the commercial real estate market in Huntsville and Madison. When you're in the market for commercial real estate and you need a partner who knows how to make your plans come together, Samples Properties can guide you through all the legal, financial, and regulatory hurdles. And if you just need office space to start or grow your business, Samples Properties is the call you need to make. Go to samplesproperties.com to see the impressive list of clients that have profited from the knowledge and integrity of Samples Properties. For commercial real estate development and consultation, trust your business to Samples Properties, with offices on Madison Street in downtown Huntsville. Samplesproperties.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Segment of the Tom Abraham Show, brought to you by the Service Department at Woody Anderson Ford. That's an award-winning Service Department at Woody Anderson Ford. They're going to help you with your routine checkups. They're going to keep your Ford or other brand in perfect working order. And if you got a bigger problem, the expert service technicians are going to quickly diagnose it and use a state-of-the-art tools to resolve it. They also have the mobile service where they come out to you. Their convenient mobile program services include oil changes, tire rotations, parts replacements such as windshield wipers or lights. And if you're only available on the weekend or in the evening, the Quick Lane service is your one-stop shop for servicing brakes and tires and batteries and all that kind of good stuff. No matter what the service your Ford needs, Woody Anderson ensures quick, professional, and exceptional service. All right, phone lines are open. If you want to jump in, you can go ahead and do it. 256-576-4977 will get you in. If you want to get a piece of the future Fecta, you could do that now. I'm going to address something that I don't normally address, but I think it's hilarious, so I'm going to throw it out there. So somebody by the name of Freddie Kirby. All right. Freddie is boys with Drew Darman, but I don't know. I wouldn't know Freddie Kirby if he was sitting on the floor over here somewhere. But Freddie is addressing the fact that we've made a change at the radio station. And that, that Chad is no longer with us here at the radio station. And that the Captain Cool is mixing the show for now. And we'll see where that goes. But that was the obvious move that we had to make. And that, nepotism is in play. Because John is my son. Okay. So generally these kind of comments you just laugh at. And I got to laugh at this one as well. Because I've only been on the air here for 20 years now. Okay. But this guy, Freddie Kirby, he writes, the Abrahams have been a problem at every station they've ever worked at. Well, let me stop right there. Really? A problem at every station they've ever worked at. You're right, Freddie. An award-winning problem at every single station I've ever worked at. You're correct. A cash cow at every single station I ever worked at. You're right, Freddie. Yeah, you know what you're talking about. Back to his post. Pacifying his inept son and his video game buddy is ridiculous. Well, I don't know who. I guess Captain Cool is the inept son. Who is the video game buddy? I have no idea who the video game buddy is.
I think he's talking about the Bandy
Man.
Yeah, he's talking about the Bandy Man. By the way, LSU Lynch, call back in. I am a little bit inept at times.
All right. Well, we're training him to do something new. No doubt about it.
My third day.
It wasn't like it wasn't like it was done. The move that was made had nothing to do with, on air stuff. It was just it was time to do what we needed to do. Anyway, pacifying his inept son, all right, and his video game buddy is ridiculous. That show is a complete sore to the airwaves. Tom is the next worst. All right, this is Freddie Kirby. All right, I'm the next worst show. They need to keep their no good asses in Tennessee. Why Wes puts up with the nepotism is beyond me. Well, it probably has something to do with the fact that the station's grown exponentially in the 5 years that I've been here. And but whatever. We understand.
Like,
if we need to give you a why, I mean, if you want to know a why, it probably has something to do with with the growth, with the incredible growth and completely squashing of any other station that's even attempting to do sports anywhere in this market and that. But I understand. We can help you out with that.
I would have made sure this conversation didn't happen in the first place. I was on the phone. I didn't know where you were going with it.
No. I'm reading this post. This is from some clown by the name of Freddie Kirby. that couldn't find his ass with an abacus.
I don't know.
Anyway, he says John Boy brings nothing to the table. Well, that's true. You're a colossal screw up. Very talented, but that's all right. But if you could swallow your pride, I guess he's speaking to Chad. If you could swallow your pride and meet with Wes man to man, we could do that. And Wes would tell him listen to Tom. Admit that losing your temper and posting on social media make it things reverse. No, that's not going to happen. Do the board for the morning show. Now Freddie Kirby's running the radio station. Now Freddie Kirby is running the radio station. Okay, they have this guy do that show and have that guy do that show, and you go, whatever. All right, whatever. Just understand something. I'm just going to say this. All right, I love Chad. I love Chad like a son. All right. I have great affection for Chad. All right. None of that has anything to do with things that have to be done and decisions that are made in running a radio station. All right. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. I think Chad has some tremendous abilities. Love the kid, but Freddie Kirby doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. And Freddie, you're right. I mean, it's going to be tough for me. I don't know how I'm ever going to make it in this market. I mean, it's only been 20 years. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'll last another 20 years. I know, I came into the market in 2004. By 2007, the company had sent me to Nashville and had me on in Nashville and Huntsville and Montgomery and Florida. And I know that, it sucks. I get that, but it's just, I understand. I've been a problem everywhere. I mean, the problem is everywhere I go, the problem is that you got to get a forklift to stack up the freaking money I bring in. But other than that, Freddie, no, you're right. You're right.
I wonder if anybody's going to pick Mizzou to go to the playoffs. I've been wanting to say that all day.
They're live. But don't show your incompetence, Bronny.
I mean, you look at the comparison. Ole Miss is definitely the next team you'd think
I have
of.
Missouri at 9-3.
All right, Missouri. You could look at the schedule, and you could make an argument that they're going to just lose 2 games, maybe even just 1.
10-2.
You could look down the list, and you could see that they're going to lose to Alabama. That's for sure. But other than that, they have Texas A&M, which, yes, is at Texas A&M. It's going to be a tough game for them. But on top of that,
Texas A&M winning that game.
You probably have Oklahoma winning the other one. Am I right?
That is a toss-up game.
That's a toss-up. Okay, so who else do you have beating the Mizzou Tigers this year?
I say that they're going to dump one that they shouldn't dump. They're going to go to South Carolina and get beat. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about chalk or I'm not talking about Vegas. I'm talking about what's going to happen is they're going to lose a game they shouldn't lose.
Yeah.
They'll go to South Carolina and they'll get beat down there, and something like that will happen to them. But I am at 9-3. I just don't think 9-3 is going to get them in the play.
Well, maybe LSU Lynch will say something like that.
Well, let's see what LSU Lynch is. A legend in the doghouse, and he's up next. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Son, it's a great day. I just got in and everything and catching the show. So everybody's pretty much staying with the same pattern. It seems like really.
Roger put LSU in the playoffs. Yeah, Roger put LSU in the playoffs.
Who was the other three?
He had Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, and LSU.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Ole Miss, that's still a tosser. It's like old boy said a while ago. I mean, Lane, he still ain't really won nothing. And, Grasshopper just made a point with Missouri. I mean, because we still don't know what's going to happen. It being a new thing, but I'll jump on and let somebody else say something. The Georgia and Texas is definite.
Okay.
That's definite. I mean, do we have to pick 3? Do we have to pick?
No.
4?
There's ever many you think is going to make the playoff. If you think 5 teams are going to make the playoff, you can do that. If you think if you think only Georgia and Texas are going to make it. So all I'm saying is, who is going to make it? You pick the teams.
I know those 2 will.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll with the Tide, dude. And that's the only ones I want to pick. I mean, I just don't trust anybody else, brother. Hey, appreciate the phone call.
All right.
And y'all enjoy your weekend, brother.
All right. Appreciate you. one of the reasons Ole Miss gets so much love is the schedule. Again, it's about schedules make a fight. And when you look at Ole Miss's, you start with their non-conference schedule. Furman, Middle, Wake, and Georgia Southern. Boom, 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 boom. There's 4. They got a popcorn schedule. They get Kentucky at home. They get South Carolina. They should go there and win that game. It's a toss-up game when you go to Baton Rouge. I'm going to say for them, that's a toss-up game at Baton Rouge. They get Oklahoma at home. They get Arkansas. Don't matter where they play Arkansas, they're going to win that game. They get Georgia at home, and I say they lose that game, but it's at home. They get Florida in Gainesville. It's hard to see Florida. I mean, I could say that, Florida could win that game. Ole Miss should be favored in that game. And then they finish with the Egg Bowl, and they win the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. So that's just the way. I mean, when you look at it, the Georgia game is an L. Even if they lose in Baton Rouge and beat Florida, they're 10-2. It's the schedule. They don't play Alabama. They don't play Texas. They don't play Tennessee. I mean, think about that. They're missing Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee. The next best group of teams on the schedule.
But you also got to see that their first bye week is a little bit farther on in the season. So maybe at one point, whenever they face off against Kentucky, South Carolina, and LSU, could be a chance they slip up because, they're going to be beating down on all these other teams. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if Georgia actually loses to Ole Miss, how everything will kind of fall apart right there. That's the interesting thing for me.
Vinny hits the text window. Freddie Kirby, just a bleak reminder that everyone is a critic. Yeah, there's no doubt. Do I have my critic thing? I usually carry my critic thing, but I think it disintegrated. I usually carry the critic. Yeah, the critic is a outstanding. It was written by Teddy Roosevelt. I believe it was Teddy Roosevelt. It's called The Critic. It's outstanding. And, here, I'll read it to you.
I can't wait for this history lesson. I would have looked
You have it. I sent it to you.
Probably.
Critic.
Well, you sent me a lot of things.
Teddy Roosevelt. All right. No, I do, but you're supposed to have this. You're supposed to keep this thing. The Man in the Arena. It's The Man in the Arena. And it applies in this particular case big time. All right. The Man in the Arena is this. This is from Teddy Roosevelt, 1910. Year my house was built, not the year I was born. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat.
Amen, brother.
Those cold and timid souls. I have that on a wall in my office. I used to carry it with me everywhere. The Man in the Arena. I know I've sent it to you guys as well, but it's very good, for when people want to come at you. And it doesn't bother me when people come at me. I don't care, because there's the deal is I mean, there's,
Well,
thousands on the other side, and there's a couple of clowns. That
at this point, though, I mean, if they do, say, oh well, they I got the attention, then we can also say that they do in fact listen to the Thom Abraham Show. So it's a little bit of a back and forth there. I don't think anybody's getting hurt at the end of this, but yeah, no, I mean, if it was on my personal YouTube channel where I talk about, whatever I talk about, that's a different story.
I would say no. Yeah,
I'm not an expert at at everything.
But we're also responsible because of our public, perception to even in our private social media. You're always still representing your name and your radio station.
That's what I was born on. I mean,
yeah. So whatever it is,
never let me go too crazy.
You're always still, whatever I say, whether I say it, okay, this is my personal. So no, I'm still Thom Abraham with 97.7 ESPN The Zone, representing West Neighbors and Neighbors Broadcasting, and so I'm always going to keep that in mind no matter what. That's just the way that goes. Grumpy wants to change his pick from Ole Miss to Tennessee to go to the playoffs. Do we allow that? He says I understand that that you're supposed to stick with the pick, so he doesn't want to change. But he said if he was picking again, he would take Tennessee over Ole Miss to go to the playoffs. Should we give him the opportunity to change?
Well, we'd have like a 3-way tie if he didn't change. So I would say,
well, no, they can all pick. I don't care if they all get points. That's going to be a long season. Everybody can pick the exact same thing if they want.
Look, I'm gonna say to Grumpy, he can do whatever he wants.
Give Grumpy. We'll give Grumpy to Grumpy. If you want to change, you can change. If you want to change before the show is out in 15 minutes, you can change.
Just got to lock it in. No more changing after that.
Let's get a break. We'll come back with more. It's the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Team USA men's basketball opens up the Paris Olympics this Sunday when they take on Serbia. Kevin Durant's excited for today's opening ceremony.
You get to see all the great athletes around the world represent their country, and the pride that you have for your country just goes to another level. So I'm excited. We haven't done the boat on the river yet. We usually walk around the stadium, so it'll be a new experience for me. I'm looking forward to it.
The U.S. men are minus 400 favorites to win the gold. The Team USA women get underway Monday. They'll take on Japan. The U.S. women minus 2,000 to win the gold. Australia plus 2,500. Get the latest lines and more at vsin.com.
Owen Home Appliance Center features the biggest names in home appliances like Viking, Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, GE, and Frigidaire. But they also have great brands that you may not know, like Mela, Forno, Z-Line, Invisicook, and Beko. But no matter what, they all get delivered the day you buy, and they service everything they sell. And at the Lacey Spring Showroom, just 8 miles south of the river on 231, you'll find a totally interactive showroom where you can hear the dishwashers wash, and the freezer's free, and see the cookies get baked in the double ovens. Owen Home Appliance Center will even wash and dry a load of clothes for you so that you can see how great the products are. And they have ice machines making all kinds of ice, cubed, nugget, and top hat. How is that for variety? Owen Home Appliance Center believes in community involvement as well, sponsoring youth teams, race cars, and an annual Easter egg hunt. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service is the name of the game for Owen Home Appliance Center. Find them in Somerville and Lacey Springs and online at owenappliance.com.
At Mad Daddy's Burger Bar, we love baseball almost as much as we love serving up the best and baddest burgers around. People have called our burgers totally insane. And at Mad Daddy's, we take that as a compliment. But it's not just burgers. Up first, starters like our fried pickles, wings, or poblano frites. Second, try one of Mad Daddy's giant chopped salads. Third, our famous chef-inspired burgers with lots of different taste options. And before you head home, finish up with one of our shakes or delicious banana pudding. Mad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and Cliff Farm in Madison. Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Looking for your next adventure to be out of this world but don't have enough money to buy a spaceship and leave orbit? Well, look no further than Divergence VR theme park off of Governor's Drive Southwest in Huntsville, Alabama. Are zombies more your style? How about driving your favorite cars on the world's fastest track? Or maybe a gorilla game that has you climbing up tall trees to escape other gorillas? Wait, that's actually a thing? Huh. Would you look at that? For whatever adventure you can dream of, call 256-203-4128 to get your VR adventure started now.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Another day full of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll see high temperatures top out in the low 80s for the afternoon. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to see a mostly cloudy sky. Heading into our Friday night, we could see some patchy fog develop throughout the overnight. Mostly cloudy, low temperatures fall into the low 70s. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Now, welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Segment brought to you by Minuteman Press. Our friends at Minuteman Press taking care of all kinds of printing needs for you, whether it's paper printing needs or signage. They do it all. Those of you watching on WZZN TV, you see this beautiful signage that is behind me here. That's Minuteman Press. They do that kind of stuff. I had them do some stuff for me at the church, at my church, Winchester First Baptist Church, which is right down the street from the radio station in Winchester that we are on. I had him do some, I know John has had him do some other stuff for him as well. And, it's good. They do a great job.
Yeah, I have to bring in my personal cards for the Pinky Out Gang one of these days. I know you don't fully accept on that stuff, but they look really good. And they got them to me in a very quick manner. And they were very affordable. So,
yeah, they're great. They're great. Minuteman Press, outstanding. All right. The USA Today, they put out their predictions for the NFL for this upcoming season. And I thought they were kind of fascinating. They have the Titans at 6-11. We told you that. They have the Patriots at 3-14. Here's the surprise. They have the Dolphins at 8-9. 8-9 in Tua Tagovailoa's fifth year. I got a feeling the Dolphins are going to be pretty good. They have the Buffalo Bills at 10-7. They have the Bills as a 5 seed in the playoffs. Winning the AFC East, they have the New York Football Jets. They have the Jets at 12-5, the 2 seed, behind only the Chiefs, who are the only team that make the playoffs out of the AFC West, at 13-4. Chargers are 9-8, Raiders 6-11, Broncos 4-13. Chiefs are the 1 seed at 13-4. The Bengals win the AFC North at 11-6, followed by the Browns at 10-7 and the Ravens at 10-7.
Okay.
They have the Browns making the playoffs as the 7th seed and the Ravens not making the playoffs.
I like that.
They have the Steelers with their new quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. They have the Steelers at 9-8, coming in last in the AFC North.
I like that
All
too.
4 teams in the AFC North over 500, but only the Bengals and the Browns making the playoffs.
It's just how it is.
They have the Colts at 11-6. What did I miss?
Anthony Richardson's back, of course.
Oh, okay. Colts are at 11-6. They win the division. Jaguars are 10-7. They're the 6th seed. They have the Texans at 9-8 coming off of that year they had last year. And what they've added with Stephon Diggs, second year for Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud, D'Amico Ryans.
I see that team getting a lot better. I definitely see the
Could be a
Jaguars.
sophomore slump, maybe a little.
I was actually thinking the same thing, but the Jaguars are not going to be as good as people think they are, especially not, the news outlet that you're going off of.
And in the NFC, they've got the 49ers as the 1 seed at 13-4, the Rams 10-7, the 6 seed, Cardinals and Seahawks 7-10 and 5-12. They have the Green Bay Packers winning the NFC North, which I think will happen. Packers at 13-4, assuming Jordan Love gets into camp. He will be. He's in camp. He's just not on the field. They have the Packers as the 2 seed. The Lions are 11-6. They have them as the 5 seed. The Bears at 9-8 make the playoffs as the 7 seed with Caleb Williams and his nail polish. They have the Falcons winning the NFC South at 9-8, and they're the 4 seed. I do think the Falcons win the NFC South. I think they're 10 and. I think they're more like 10-7, 11-6.
Yeah, 9-8's a little low. They were around what that was just last year. They had, it seemed like there were struggles left and right all year long.
They have the Saints at 8-9, the Bucks at 8-9, and the Panthers at 4-13. The Eagles win the East. They're the only playoff team out of the East. The Eagles win the East at 10-7, 3 seed. Cowboys miss at 8-9. That means Bill Belichick's their coach next year.
Jeez.
The Commanders go 7-10. The New York Football Giants go 4-13. So your playoff teams in the NFC, 49ers, Packers, Eagles, Falcons, Lions, Rams, Bears. In the AFC, Chiefs, Jets, Colts, Bengals, Bills, Jags, and Browns. And your Super Bowl, the New York Jets over the Green Bay Packers.
Come on, that's a cop-out.
They got the New York Jets over the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl.
What world are we living in where Aaron Rodgers can first off, hardly takes the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl, let alone the New York freaking Jets. Right. But
now all of a sudden, at 60 years old, he's going to take the Jets to the playoffs coming off an Achilles injury.
And a Europe trip or whatever. Egypt, I don't even know. Ashwagandha trip, something like that.
Egypt.
Jeez. I don't see it happening.
Not seeing it.
Jordan Love, on the other hand, I do see a lot of big plays from him this year. You're going off of a quarterback.
He's going to break the bank, though, but I don't know that I would. What are they going to do? They're going to make him the highest paid quarterback? Now, his deal is going to get. He was great the second half of the season, but are we ready to pay Jordan Love $50-60 million a year?
It's too soon. And if he's wanting that type of money, then some of these guys need a reality check when it comes to the NFL.
But it's been every new quarterback deal has been the biggest deal in the history of the NFL.
Jeez.
I don't think it makes any sense. All right, that's going to do it for me and Bronny.
Kobe.
Grumpy has taken up our offer. He will switch. You don't want to be Kobe. You're Bronny. He is going to switch. It's inside joke. He is going to switch to Tennessee from Ole Miss, taking Ole Miss off his list and putting Tennessee on his list. And we're going to let him do that. You can continue to get in via the text window, but that's it as far as the phone calls go. Coming up next, it's the Paul Feinbaum Show. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'm Thom Abraham. Talk to you Monday.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning. I'm Doug Brown. NFL news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Lions kicker Michael Badgley will miss the season. He needs surgery for a torn hamstring after getting hurt during Thursday's practice. ESPN's Field Yates reports the Patriots are finalizing a 3-year, $24 million contract extension for safety Jabril Peppers. As the Rams feared, cornerback